Boom, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Rufus here, back in another video. Instead of gameplay, today we are going to talk about the new trendy game on Roblox, Piggy. This video is going to be probably way more interesting than other ones, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So, Piggy might just seem like you escape a map, but there's actually a timeline. Starting off with Mr. P. Of course, guys, you guys may not know who Mr. P is, but we did further investigation, and we figured out who Mr. P is. Our theory is that Mr. P is Mr. Potato, and Mr. Potato is not actually a bad guy. He is a good guy. So, let's start off with, how do we know it's Mr. Potato? We know this because, just to start off with this, at the end of Chapter 5, the school map, when you get the ending, you see a potato. And also, on Chapter 8, the carnival map, one of those fence thingies is also a potato. Then, I got a flashback and I went on YouTube and searched up Peppa Pig Potato City. And there's actually a video about Potato City. And that potato is a Peppa Pig character. And so, yeah. So basically, in the 8th map, at the end of the series, we see a little Easter egg of a potato girl. That could be a sister, wife, or daughter of a Mr. Piggy. Or, I'm sorry, not Mr. Piggy, Mr. Potato. Tragically, she dies in the hospital. As you can see, the lights are on in the hospital, so the flat lines mean someone has been here and died. Mr. P thinks there is a cure, though, so he tries it on the Peppa family, and as seen in the notes. In one of the notes, it said, "I'll do anything for the cure." So yeah, after that, Mr. Potato, or Mr. P, as we see in the games, is grieving. The question is he evil or is he good? If you look at the ending of Chapter 8, the first few seconds, you can see a potato girl or a potato with a flower. That means Mr. P has lost a loved one. I can support that, since if you go to the hospital map, there are flat lines, meaning people died. The flat line would be true since someone must have died because the power in the hospital is still on. Since you can see the lights are still on, and if the patient died, they would shut it off. Since they didn't, we can see that the potato girl has died. Since the potato girl is not mentioned, our best guess could be a daughter or a mother or a sister. One question you may have is, though, how did she die? Mr. P in the notes, 3 of them are very interesting. Mr. P has graciously donated much to help research a cure he insists that will test out as soon as possible. Maybe the doctor can make something, a cure. I just need her to feel better. She's really sick. I need to help any way I can. In these notes, we can identify he cares about someone a lot. You might think Bunny, or think Bunny, but that is false. Mr. P, as you can see, has a lot of money because at the hospital, I think he came from a helicopter and landed on the helipad. And he owns a theme park, or in other words, the carnival, which means he has a lot of money. So if he cares about someone, he would give money just to cure them. And she's, just to re-mention this, she's really, she's one of the notes. She's really sick. I need to help any way I can. That came from the Metro, yet we never see Mr. P at the Metro, so he probably wrote it before we even came here. And that line I showed you, look at what he says at the end. Any way I can. He will do anything to save his daughter. Also, he has more than one node that he puts icing on the cake. Maybe the doctor can make something, a cure. I just need her to feel better. So he donates a lot of money to make a cure for his loved one. As I said, Bunny is not this person. Since Mr. P wrote the note, it is not going to be Bunny. He would not be able to enter the Metro and write these notes since the station and everywhere we go is shut down. And since Mr. P would give anything, he made friends with Bunny and told her to drink the potion, aka Substance 178, which was found in one of the notes. So, So he basically gave Bunny and told her to drink the potion or substance 178. So back to the cure. Once they made the cure, they had to test it on some people. These lines show who they were. Majority of family volunteered to help with testing. The test will begin shortly. Hopefully it goes well. Also, the sign shows where you can come into play. The test has shown promising so far. The youngest was absent during the tests. The youngest disappeared. So you go find him at Piggy's house. But if you read this line, patient 0 was given substance 178. Patient has been restoring strength, but displaying signs of aggression. Patient 0 is Peppa, because if you look around her house, you will see an X on George. That's signs of anger. She might have hit the car, or smashed it as signs of anger. And since she is restoring strength, they will be able to do that. At the same time, you go to Piggy's house, then try to find George. After you escape with no luck and no sights of George, you go back to the station. Once you come back, you have to get to the garage. The people have no idea what is happening because in the notes they describe the Piggy as it and creatures as in station notes. These are the station notes. Also, many people are scared and rushed to look at the station notes. Where did these creatures come from? I've never seen anything like them before. I can only hope the officer that went to find the location of George Piggy is okay. I can't find me in here, can it? Or it can't find me in here, can it? Am I safe from it? The other police officers left without me. I need to get out of here. People are scared and left behind, concerned about others. Now let me keep going, lol. Once you run out of gas, you're forced into the station, but there is caution tape and missing posters of George. The gallery is closed from the Piggy overrun. Looking at the timeline, like I said, everywhere is closed down, so you have limited places to go. One thing in a gallery is that there are lots of pigs around you. Remember the cure I talked about? They kept testing on more people. That's how we get more skins. And they come after you since they have most of the population already piggies. So then you run to the forest with Doggy and then he becomes a monster. You might ask why? That's because Mr. P already giving him the cure. We don't see him in a house, so we have to assume he already took the cure. Once you escape the hospital, Mr. P radios you that you must save his friend. So Bunny in the metro map has took the potion, but when you might ask, once Mr. P becomes friends with Bunny, he makes her drink the potion. I'm not sure, but Mr. P might have control over them, so he tells Piggies, or he does it himself, to trap her in the school, where you must free her and meet up in the sewers. Since you have met with Mr. P, you might have drank the potion, but it might not be the same effect on humans than on Peppa Pig characters, so you do not transform. So you're not that sick. At the hospital, you escape from the piggies again. This might get repetitive, but look at the chambers. Some are busted open. They are the same size as, for example, Piggy. So they released them, but Mr. P doesn't care about us. He leaves. But what is he leaving for? He left to his hideout at the carnival, but we aren't there. At the metro, we find out about Mr. P actions, but now it's mostly about Bunny becoming sick and Mr. P leaving, since if our player didn't read the notes, we think Mr. P is hiding out in his carnival. Then we find a clown and Foxy at the ending, Pedro, Zizzy, and the small girl Potato. And then after that, the chase begins. Also, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, because all of this, we put a lot of effort into. Shoutouts to my friend Victor, aka Sadman2, as mentioned in the beginning, for helping me do a lot of this project. Cause I legit gave him like $5 so we could buy a VIP and we could do all this, and he did it. And also, shoutouts to my sister for helping me. She didn't do as much, she didn't do much, but like she tried to help, and I appreciate the effort and support that she gave us, and I really appreciate that. And thanks to all of you guys who made it up till here. If you guys made it till here, comment down below hashtag Shane Dawson 2.0, because I'm starting to make theories, or just theories like him, lol. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I do want to remind you of one thing before we leave, though. That was just a theory. A piggy theory. And cut.